In today's episode, the first route will be a blue V6 on the upstairs comp wall. This route had some particular beta that I actually had to break because it did not work for me. So the route begins down low on some pretty good crimpy holds, and essentially you move yourself out left, and then you approach a big slope around that feature. So I had to reach out left first, and then come out right, and you kind of catch your weight. Now the next holds are pretty far away and crimpy, so what the setter is intended is for you to get a knee bar set, which is really rad. What was tricky is that it was just far enough away to where I had to push. I actually had to push flex my calf and extend my toe. I couldn't just lock it into place without pushing my toe up. So it was kind of tricky. It just felt like it didn't really fit for me. It's probably just an excuse, I'm sure. Could have just made it work if I would have figured it out. But yeah, fall that first time, my flash go, and coming back to it, I kind of know what to expect now in this cruxy sequence. But this time I just opt to go up. And I do try and get the knee bar set again. I'm wondering if maybe with a hand up I can. It just didn't feel right. So I have some crazy bait. I go really high foot out left. And then I close that crimp on the left hand, catch the right hand, bump it up, and really just kind of powered my way through that section. Not the best beta. The knee bar would be much cooler, but in a pinch, sometimes you gotta use a little bit of power. Route 1 done. Route number 2 is going to be a fun, very stemmy V5. So this route definitely required quite a bit of hip flexibility. You had to think a little bit, and a lot of mantling. It's very cool. So starting down low, I even do a hand foot match right from the start there. And then you kind of go out left on these really cool pinch holds. I try and go right up to top, but they made the top bad on purpose, so I actually have to go back down and get into a proper position. So no cheating on this route. Absolutely have to do it right. So get that foot up, and I'm just trying to create a lot of tension. And you'll see I drop that knee in, and I eventually get the high foot. And there I really have good oppositional pressure between both feet, and I can hold that position. That one's surprising. I thought I was going to walk up it. Here we have another V5, these yellow holds. Just fun, consistent, and pretty good holds on the overhanging wall, which I always really enjoy. Just kind of immediately just move up to the roof portion. And you have some holds on those features. Pretty cool going to that undercling there. And really from here you just climb it out. The next route is moving into some pretty difficult territory, an orange, slotted, sloped, crimpy V7. One of the most challenging V7s I've climbed at Terra Firma. It required a lot of finger strength and a lot of figuring out as well. So the whole route is across the flat wall there. You begin on 2 underclings, move up right, walk your feet up, and then go out left, and there's enough space on that hold to match it. Once you are matched securely, move out left, walk your feet up, and my first thought was to then move my left hand out. It was a bit too far. So I do choose to adjust my feet and try and do a rose move, which is pretty cool. I really wanted to go out left, but ultimately came to that rose beta. If only, if only. Rose was difficult though. Wasn't able to get it every time. I attempted matching the middle one. That did not work out very well for me. It's definitely not enough space. And I essentially just gave that rose quite a few goes trying to perfect it. Rose moves are pretty dang cool. Usually pretty slow, controlled. They feel sweet. However, I decided to change it up, and from the start here, watching those beginning undercling moves, the match here. This time I attempt a new beta. I really just go dynamically out left. This did create a new crux, however, in which I needed to fall into the right hand. And as previously mentioned, the hold that I'm coming into is slopey, small, and only good on the left side. So coming into it with the right hand was really tricky. However, I just could not make the rose work no matter what I did. Tried very hard. But you'll see with almost like a drop knee, which was really interesting too. I am able to come in right and then actually get the distance to go out left to the pinch. Come around into that. And then kind of crunch down into it. These last orange crimpy holds feel just like the beginning ones. And this may blow your mind as it blew mine, but this is actually the crux. Everything before wasn't even as hard as that move, so I bailed because I'm tired and so surprised. End of the story, I did not send the orange V7 despite multiple days and lots of attempts. Let's move on to the real difficult project, the black V8. This route was incredible, very challenging, and I put a lot of heart and soul into this. So this route is very interesting because the setter and I did it differently, but I was absolutely forced to do it the way I did. So the first move, you move out left and begin walking your hands onto the feature. Now I had to do this very particular beta where I actually catch the toe hook, as you just kind of saw me do. So on the feature, you have a few pretty small crimpy holds. And the key is getting out to that left sloper. Me kind of working the top section here. And this is also where the real crux is, ladies and gentlemen. So also was a few days into me working this. The bottom beta took me a while to lock down. That toe hook feels pretty awesome. But I walk my feet out, and the toe that you see me place there doesn't catch until I hit the sloper. And it's not that big, so it's accurate. A lot of core is difficult to do. Once you do that, you get in the top section where you hit that left sloper. There's a little foot chip that you need to get your foot on and just create a lot of body tension. It's pretty tricky. This route felt try hard to me. It felt like I had to put so much effort in. It was incredible, even more than the pink V8 project. The top section on this is one of the hardest moves I've ever climbed on any indoor route and any route, honestly. Catching that, getting the heel set. Move into this top section. Just so much power from your lats. It's incredible. Here's one of the many working sessions on this problem. I eventually learned how to squeeze everything, match up top. But the crazy part is that it wasn't even done. Even undercling, that comes pretty far out, but as you can see, that position is precarious. So powerful and yet so delicate. Very awesome and interesting balance. And the bottom section is quite hard as well. There, I'm so close. I'm so close. I just need to snag that undercling. But everything is on that left hold. And the second you move out right, that becomes almost useless. It's just, you can't pull off it anymore. And your feet are not set that well. Also very fatigued from just the amount of attempts. The beginning moves were no joke. That took me a while to lock in too. And I had to call it. I never sent, but you know what? Sometimes we don't. That's okay. Thanks for watching. Much love, fam. Peace.